No, well, I think the cruise missile strikes against Syria were designed to send Syria a message, which is that the Trump administration is going to react if Syria uses chemical weapons. Remember, back in 2013, Syria supposedly got rid of all of its chemical weapons. And I think the president has sent a message. It's a limited message. I mean, I don't think he's trying to bring down the Assad regime, but he is saying that certain actions the United States won't tolerate. I think it was a one-time response to the Syrian government's use of chemical weapons. At this point, I don't think we can draw conclusions whether this is intended to be something broader or not. The Russians have responded by suspending the agreement between the American and the Russian militaries about coordination of air operations over Syria. That's a very unwise move because it raises the risk of miscalculation. But we'll see. I mean, Secretary of State Tillerson is supposed to be in Moscow. I'm sure this issue is going to come up. But it's something that, in a way, if the Russians were watching what the president said on Wednesday when he talked about the Syrian use of chemical weapons, it shouldn't have been a surprise. It's the cooperation between the United States and Russia to eliminate Syrian chemical weapons destroyed a lot more chemical weapons than an American airstrike would have done. But I think it was a mistake because it cost him a lot of international credibility. You shouldn't draw a red line unless you're prepared to respond if the other side crosses it. The president has a lot of authority as commander-in-chief. And I guess I would say that over the last 60 years, Congress has probably let its authority be diluted because in the past Congress has not insisted. And so Congress now, I think, has a hard time objecting. There is under the War Powers Act a requirement for the president to inform Congress when he uses force like this. But over the last 50, 60 years, Congress has let some of that, its power to make war, shift to the presidency. And it'll be hard, I think, for Congress to recover that. My guess is that on the particular airstrike, you're going to see a lot of bipartisan support. I mean, the Republicans will support President Trump because he's their president. And I think a lot of Democrats will say it's an appropriate response to the use of chemical weapons. For example, Tony Blinken, who was the Deputy Secretary of State in the Obama administration, has already come out and said it was an appropriate act. So I think this particular strike will have broad support, but we'll have to see what the broader Trump policy towards Syria is until we can determine whether or not that's going to have support from the Democrats as well as Republicans.